Gemini, hi and welcome to your March reading. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, and or Venus. However, you clicked on this video and I want you to understand that be whatever reason that it was that you decided to click on this video, the way I look, you just felt an intuitive nudge, you are just curious to know what I am even talking about, right? What is tarot? Understand that there are no such thing as coincidences, at least from my point of view. And so, being that there's a reason you're brought here, I hope you hear all that you need. And do subscribe before you leave, okay? Let's get into this video. I have a feeling that you guys have a thing for Cancer this month. Cancer has a thing for you. Reason being, the Lovers came up in their reading, which is your card in the tarot deck, associated with Gemini, is associated with like the twins, twin flames as some people may call it, but it's just understanding that you possess both feminine and masculine attributes within self, and it's learning how to love and appreciate those two halves of who you are, for what they can do independently of their of each other, but also the magic that can happen when the two mesh, and when it's not done out of force, okay, but when it makes sense, when you can use the two to an advantage, right? So understand that. So if they're not doing their own reflection and self-reflection and realizing that about themselves, you are definitely in the picture. It may either be the catalyst for that, or really just might be bringing in some love, like you really hit it off with the Cancer. But for you guys, by the end of the month, their card came up in your spread, and that's, you guys are like sprung. But anyway, let's get into it. So coming into the beginning of March, you have the Two of Swords energy, followed by the Ace of Wands, with the Eight of Coins and the Seven of Wands. Cancer also had that card in their spread. That was their first card. And this is overcoming obstacles and or challenges. Understanding that if this is about love, there is no one that isn't difficult to love, okay? You're always going to have to be climbing over walls, jumping over hurdles, and dodging any of the fire, right? The anger that may come from your partner. There's bound to be a mistake. There's bound to be a slip up. We all fall short in matters of love. So you just really have to understand what is your deal breaker. What can you tolerate? You will never be too much for one person, but understand that you can't allow that statement that I just spoke to enable unhealthy behaviors. If there's something that you need to change within yourself or within a relationship, any issues that you may be having, you might want to use the Mercurian energy before it really stations retrograde to vocalize and articulate what has you perplexed. And I'm saying that because you have the Six of Coins that came up in reverse going into the second and the third week of March, followed by the Ace of Coins and the Three of Swords. So if you continue to bite your tongue here with this energy, you're only prolonging the pain. People aren't mind readers, as much as you guys know, being Geminis and understanding duality, you still don't understand how unique each individual is that you come across, how huge that is, that we are all that complex. One person that you're dealing with is not going to have the same nuance as the next person that you deal with or that you come across, right? That needs to be in your life to teach you something, show you something, or grow and do something with you, So if you continue to bite your tongue, words will be left unsaid, which can lead to further miscommunication when Mercury goes retrograde, and which can last and which can cause a chasm, if you will, a chasm can cause a break or a split. So you just need to figure out how to really speak your mind without coming off rude this month in the midst of any frustrations that you feel for also being misunderstood. Did you understand that? A lot of understanding. So again, you have to make sure that if you're typing something, because the coins can be about those who are good with their words usually. So for those people, you're going to have to read what you wrote and spell check it, have somebody else read over it potentially this month. You want to be very careful with how you phrase certain things if you're going to be communicating via email, or on social media or via text message, that things don't get misconstrued, right? That you aren't going to lead anybody on, but as well that they won't do that to you, especially if you are dealing with a Cancer. Okay, you guys have had enough of having your heart broken. Okay, you want something that has more than potential at this point. This is mediocrity at best. You don't want to settle for mediocrity if this is in terms of a relationship, okay? But really, what the issue can be, if this is not with communication, it can just be that it's not reciprocal as far as effort, as far as the two of you being of service to each other. There's a lack of respect is what I'm getting. So that can be the central issue if this is in regards to a relationship with a Cancer. But by the end of the month, I just want to advise with this moon and this 3 of coins energy, and pardon me if you hear my stomach, guys. I was trying to do these videos. I put this before eating a meal, and I don't advise, take from this example that you put your self-care to the side just to do stuff and to be nice. So if it's not about a relationship, you can do what I literally have done and just admit it to doing, where I'm putting my health at some level of risk, okay, by not eating. Like if it's an intentional fast that you're having to do for religious purposes, you're doing because you want to have that spiritual moment, right, for that spiritual enlightenment that some get when they do intentional fasting. Or if you're doing it because you're trying to do intermittent fasting for like weight, if you're the type of person that's into exercise and lifts and stuff. But when I know I'm hungry and I won't eat because I need to do something that I feel could be of service, because I feel like other people need me, but sacrificing self, that can be something that is a point of conflict that you guys are looking at and are going to be determined to resolve by the end of the month. If there is a rift in a relationship, that's what I want to say. Don't make a rash decision that you can regret, especially if it's going to be based on the moment, like what's happening in the present moment here with the Ace of Wands, what you feel inspired to do for that moment out of jealousy, out of envy, out of ego, the I, right? This is very innocent, childlike, fast energy. So don't act when you feel compelled to, right? When you have the impulse to do it. The lesson of it all is that you understand that things ebb and flow. I couldn't have said that more beautifully. Come through, Spirit. But things will always ebb and flow. Relationships, jobs, right? And your level of productivity and your level of confidence in yourself and your level of wanting to be social, being that extrovert that you are stereotyped to be, and being creative. You if you're an author especially, you understand this at some point. You will run into a regret in the process. Okay, there will be that creative block, and that just means that you need to go out. Maybe you were a little too secluded and isolated, and your brain can't function in that capacity. You need fresh air. Okay, you need to go out and experience life. Don't manipulate it and force it, but just be present in it and gain awareness from it, so that you can continue to feel that sense of inspiration, so that you can continue to acquire that knowledge to be able to speak about the things that you're writing about. You become more credible. the more that you can relate to the things that you are writing about, but you understand that on that level. So then why then is it so difficult for you to also get that people have moments where things are great, where you guys are on the same page? Then sometimes you may care more than the other person. Sometimes they may care more than you. Sometimes they act exactly how you perceived ideologically, right, for them to be and act in your mind, right? They're spot on with a certain quality that you love about the person that you're interested in, about the way that you envision them in the mind. But again, be careful of that, and that you actually like the person for who they are, and not just the idea of them that you have, not just the idea of love that you have, that you really understand and want to be involved in and want to improve upon love, expand in love, right? Not just the idea of it and having somebody there for the moment, and then like tossing them by the wayside. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So make sure you're not doing that to people. But you have to understand, yeah, sometimes they hit that idea in your mind, and we can't help that we think that way. Everybody has this picture of what they hope to happen in a relationship. But don't wrap yourself too tightly into, again, those ideas, and look at the reality of it, so that you can stop disappointing yourself and really just disappointing yourself. Because when you say somebody else disappoints you, you give them the power to disappoint you, because you're putting too much hope or anticipation or expectation behind them in the way that they should behave. It's all relative. So I get that, if that is what it is, that sometimes they act exactly how you want them to, but then they won't. They will drop the ball because they're not who you want them to be. They're who they are growing into being on their own. It's not something that you can control. You can only control yourself. So it's working on that. It's working on making sure that you're not overextending, where you're being so selfless that you are really depriving yourself at the end of the day and putting you at risk. So just be careful with that. Can be sprung again on a Cancer, but if things just feel muddled and confusing, everything about life, whether or not you can live up to maybe some societal pressures or the things that you have to do, just wait it out and just shift your perspective and just try to stay as optimistic as you can be, and understand that too is just another wave, right? It ebbs and flows. We'll feel good and then we won't. But it's not letting go of the fact that when you don't feel your best, you're still worthy. You're still okay. Your values don't change. You're no less of a good person. Okay, you're no less important or no less loved. Okay, so it's understanding as you're moving through the motions, and just being patient as you also wade through that water. Okay, so that's what we have. You have the ability to think differently and do differently and shift the paradigm of your reality. But it's all a choice, okay? As far as your chakras are concerned, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, and your heart chakra, really get those into alignment this month. All right, but heed your own personal intuition. If this did resonate for you, though, do give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. Do subscribe for more. And if you want to delve deeper into the energies, you want to just book a private session with me altogether, you can absolutely do that. I will leave my email here as well as in the description box for you. So if I don't speak with you by chance in the comment section, then, just thank you for spending the time with me. If you don't book a session with me at this moment, you still kind of want to wait it out. You really just want to trust yourself more, as you should, as that's all I'm really going to train you to do anyway. But it's all voluntary. Don't feel like you have to. But I want you to take care of yourself until we do speak again, right? Whether publicly or privately. So do that. Do that for yourself, and then do that for me, because I care. Okay? Ciao.